let's start with how to go fast. The F in fast. It stands for focus, fun, and finalizing your goals. So the first thing you got to do is you have to focus, right? It's so funny. After we just showed how distracted we are, we talked about you have to focus, right? But you've got to now laser in your focus on what exactly it is that you want to accomplish. What we found is that it's really hard to ride two horses with one hiney. So what you got to do is you got to zero in. Y'all didn't catch that, right? I heard hiney. It's a Texas thing. That was the edited version too. Okay. All right. So you gotta focus on one particular goal at a time. So what I want to challenge you guys to do is, what is your goal for the month of October, right? What is your goal? Is your goal to build your team? Is your goal to acquire more customers? Let's pick one and let's focus on what that is going to be. You can see that some people, their goal right now is to build up their personal customer base. Fantastic. For others, their goal is to achieve director, senior director, executive director, sapphire, or some of our other ranks. What is it that you are going to focus on this particular month of October and at this particular time? For some, they might be focusing on getting good at good parties. That's something that you could focus on. Or for others, it might be getting good at doing Zoom presentations. Or how about this? Getting good at getting new people started on your team. So what are the areas that you need to focus on to help your business become faster? All right. The second one is to have fun. When you take a look at what we do here, we have loads of fun. We know when it gets serious, like right at this particular moment, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but you got to have fun, because you know what? iBoomerang is fun. It is fun. And I've been in the network marketing industry since 2003. And I got to tell you what, this is the most fun I've had in network marketing, period. Yeah. This is just an amazingly fun environment. We get serious, we work, you see how we accomplish things, but we laugh a lot and we play a lot along the way. So we want you to do the same. Make sure that it's fun, because if it's not fun, you're not going to do it. All right. So whatever you do, and that's what I love about the Top Gun Spotlight pictures. You can tell that the people in those pictures that are doing those good parties and boom parties in different parts of the world, they're having fun. Emmanuel Bernstein is in a different city almost every day. Sam Bean is in a different city almost every day. Cesar Munoz, same thing. But when you look at them, they don't look like they're like slaving away. They don't look like they're disgruntled or angry. They are having fun at every single place. They can't wait to get to the next place. So definitely dial up the fun factor in your business, okay? Thirdly, finalize your goals, all right? So what you want to do is you want to grab your flight plan calendar, and you want to use your calendar to really lock down your very specific goals. Now, finalize is synonymous in this particular case for specific. As a matter of fact, we'll give you another acronym when it comes to goal setting. You want them to be SMART. The S in SMART is specific. The M is measurable. A is achievable. R is realistic. And T is time driven. So you want to use the SMART method to have very, very specific goals that you want to achieve this particular month. A lot of times what people will say is, I want to make a lot of money. Well, that's not a finalized goal. That's not a specific goal. How much do you want to make this month? Do you want to make $500 this month? That's a specific goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable. For some of you, it's realistic, and it's time driven because it's by October 30. Or the 30 or 31 days this month? 31, like I said, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that your goals are very, very specific. You guys got that? All right, awesome. So the F, focus, have fun, finalize those goals. Let's go to the A, associate, accountability, and automate. Okay, first, associate means you want to get in the mix. Get in the mix, folks. So many people, what they do, Mark, is they'll isolate themselves. Yeah. Right. They'll say, and I can tell you who those folks are. Those are the ones who don't like Top Gun Spotlight. They say, oh, you guys take too long doing that. Just get down to the training, right? And frankly, they don't get into training. And we show the video of how much fun we had in Vegas, and we start promoting Dream Weekend, and we start promoting Accelerate. And you know what they say? I don't need all that. I don't need the rah-rah, is what they say. Well, you know what? Here's what happens. They become the gazelle that the lion eats, right? You guys know how the lions hunt the gazelles in the Sahara, right? In Africa. So check this out. Which gazelles do the lions get? Think about it for a second. Which gazelles do the lions get? So you got these gazelles, they're all hanging out, and you got some that are all huddled up in the middle, and they're all deep, and they're doing a good party. And then you got some that are all out on the edge by themselves, just eating grass by themselves, right? And then here comes the lion, and she roars, because by the way, it's the female lion that's the hunter, right? And so she roars, and they get all confused, and they all start running. And next thing you know, on National Geographic, you see the lion having one of the gazelles for lunch. But which gazelle is that? I'll tell you which one. It's the one out on the edge by himself. It's the one out on the edge by herself. It's the slow one. It's the sick one. It's the one who's not in the mix. See, even the female lion, the hunting lion, he and she knows, don't go up the middle. Don't go where all the gazelles are huddled, because there's all these sharp hooves in there, and a lion could get stomped on and pummeled and lose the fight up in the middle. But out on the edge, they can go one-on-one. And you know what? That person who doesn't want to associate, guess what? That's you. You're out on the edge. You're the one that negativity can come get. You're the one that people can easily ridicule and steal your joy. You're the one that people can talk out of the game and tell you those things never work. You know, you're the one that people can come to and say the crib ain't real, because you're out by yourself and you don't have the strength that comes from numbers. So get in the mix. Join us on Saturday mornings. This is a great virtual way to be together, and never, ever, ever, ever miss an event that you really can get to. If it's in your city, you should be there, right? If you could drive to it, you should be there. And definitely these big events that we're doing, Dream Weekend, you don't have a ticket, huh? Why not? What are you thinking? Right? Here's what you're going to miss if you're not at Dream Weekend. You're going to miss, number one, a training that is going to set you up for January. The people who come to Dream Weekend are going to be ahead of the game for 2020 versus everyone else. Okay. But you're also going to miss that camaraderie. You're also going to miss that boost just before the Christmas holidays. So folks, you definitely want to put the premium on associating. It will help you go faster. One other reason is this, because you're going to see people just like you, maybe even people who do what you do, succeeding. And that's going to be the social proof that you need in order to say, you know what, I can really do this. All right. Secondly, accountability. Accountability is you go to your coach, right? Who's your coach? It might be your sponsor. It might be your sponsor's sponsor. It might be your upline, Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, or Diamond. And what you do is you allow yourself to be accountable. So that's what I did with Holton. I allowed myself to be accountable. You know, Holton told me, I had just moved to Houston at that time in 2004. I didn't really know anybody. He taught me how to meet people. And then he sent me out to meet people. And he told me, hey, you're going to put 10 pennies in your left pocket, and every time you meet a new person and get a phone number, you're going to move one from the left to the right, and then don't come back here. At the end of the day, you need to come back here, but don't come back until the pennies are all moved from your left to your right. And I would come back and I could drop the pennies on the table and say, HB, I did it. I did exactly what you told me to do, right? And so I would show him my calendar. I would show him my activity. We had a high level of accountability relationship. And that's one of the reasons that I was able to go very fast, because I knew that I'd have to show him my calendar. I knew that I would have to show him what my activity was and that I was doing what he actually coached me to do. So find an accountability partner and be open, be honest, and be true about what you're doing. And you're going to find that that's one of the things that will help you go faster. Also on the A is to automate your monthly subscription. your monthly subscription really should be a non-negotiable, right? And it's part of your business expense. If you owned a McDonald's, you'd buy ketchup every single month. You absolutely would. You'd buy French fried potatoes and hamburger patties. Why? Because if you don't have those, you can't run your business, right? If you had a car wash, you'd buy soap every single month, non-negotiable. You would never think, oh, okay, business was a little slow last month, I'm not buying soap. No, because if you don't buy soap, you're out of business. And so that's a part of business, right? Even in this office, we got to have paper towels and paper plates every single month because we have people coming through here, and this is where we work, and this is where we eat when we're working. So in your business, your monthly subscription, that's how you keep your business alive. Get to the point where it's not even something you think about. Make sure you leave money in your e-wallet. Make sure you have a credit card on file, right? And make sure, double check it. Make sure that it runs, because sometimes we do have a little computer glitch that it doesn't run, and we don't want to be fixing it the month afterwards. But that needs to be something that happens automatically in your life. And you know what? I remember coming up, I would rather have my phone turned off, let them take my car, than not pay my monthly subscription, because that's how I was going to get out of all sorts of trouble. All right, next up, the S in FAST. S is about showing the plan, right? So what is showing the plan? And this is what I really love about iBoomerang. Showing the plan is one of the places where the elephants and the fish have historically struggled, right? If you think about the last 6 decades of network marketing, the people who've been really successful have been the big recruiters, the monkeys, the ones who are very, very comfortable getting up in front of a crowd of people and talking. And the masses of people, of course, we know they would rather die than to do that. And so what we've done at iBoomerang is we've made it so easy to show the plan, because showing the plan really means sending an I decide, right? So there's another S for you, send an I decide. That's how you can show the plan. Another way you can show the plan is you can send a person the link to one of the recorded Facebook Live presentations, and we have a ton of them every day. And I tell folks all the time, find the presenters that you really like, find their presentation, copy the link, and put it in the notes section of your phone so you don't have to go look for it each time. And then that way, if you have somebody that needs to hear it from Tanya Mazel Joseph, you got a Tanya Mazel Joseph link that you can send them. If they need to hear from Amy Seaver, you got an Amy Seaver link that you can send them. If they need to hear from Daniel Camaro, you got a Daniel Camaro link that you can send them. But you have it ready so that you can send a person a presentation, and that's another way to show the plan. The bottom line is you want to make sure that more and more people are hearing about and seeing the iBoomerang story. And so the question is, how many people did you show the plan to yesterday? How many people did you send a link to yesterday for them to see a presentation? This is one of the ways. If you increase that number, you'll increase the speed of your business. The next one is to sell the products. Okay, so that's kind of a throwback to some of the things that we used to do, but in iBoomerang, sell the products really means get customers. And as you get customers, that's going to also help speed up the pace of your business. When you look at Renee, when you look at Lee, when you look at Shirley, they're speeding up their business, right? Holton did a training. He did a training called 10 and 2. And in that training, he really taught the philosophy that everyone needs to have about their customers, which is what? Build a pipeline. You see, you can't control when a customer is going to book travel. You can't control how much they're going to spend or not spend, or how much they're going to save or not save. The only thing you can do is get enough customers so that when they need to travel and when they want to travel, they can use iGo, they can book the trip. And you also can't control when they're going to take the trip, but they'll take it when they're going to take it. But you know what happens when you have 400, 500, 600 customers? What happens is you get to a place where every month someone is completing a trip, where every month someone is finishing it. Someone is generating a commission that you're going to get paid on, a travel savings bonus that you're going to get paid on. And that's what you want to do. So it's easier to do that when you have you know, a large number of quality customers that are travelers, and you will be able to experience that over time. That's going to speed up your business. All right, here's another thing. Shadow. Okay, you guys were like, what is shadow? Shadow means learn from the ones who are succeeding. Follow them around, right? So that's one of the things I think that Patrice Raven is really good at. Patrice is everywhere that leaders are. She shows up here, she shows up there. You know, if Diamonds are doing meeting, Patrice is there. And what is she doing? She's shadowing them. She's learning how they do what they do. She's learning how they say what they say. You know, when I first met Holton back in 2004, I asked him for one thing. I said, I'll join the company on one condition. Let me shadow you. Let me, and he was in a position where he could say yes to that. It's a lot harder these days, because I know everybody's going to want to ask him now, can they shadow him? He's probably going to say no, right? But at that point, it was the sun, the moon, and the stars lined up. He said I could shadow him, and I did. And I shadow, and one of the ways I shadowed is when he was talking, I was taking notes. Mm-hmm. Anytime he was talking, I was quiet. Could believe that it's possible. I was taking notes. Right? I remember Holton did a 3-way call for me, and it was for somebody who was a really strong professional with a lot of potential. I literally sat in my car, parked by the side of the road for God knows how long, and I'm writing, and it was Holton said, Carolyn said, Holton said, and then I'd come and talk to him about it. Okay, I saw that you kind of handled this 3-way a little differently than you did the other one. I just want to understand why you say different things in different circumstances, and I just wanted to learn how he was thinking and what he said and how he said it to different people. And then I started doing those things, and I started getting better results. So shadow your leaders. And the last one on this S is stay. Stay. Man, Mark, it's amazing how many people have commitment issues. The minute something goes wrong, they're like, I think maybe I should quit. Maybe this is not the business for me. You know, and they threaten that even in their customer service. Hey guys, stay. Success comes to those who stay long enough to succeed. iBoomerang is a race that you win, not by finishing first, but by finishing. And to finish, you gotta stay. You gotta stay through the bumps and the bruises. You gotta stay through the victories, and you gotta stay through the down seasons. So just get it in your mind that you're here, and that you're here for good. And once you make that decision, it's amazing how your business will speed up. Okay, well, you guys know we got one more letter, and that's T, right? There's one more letter in going fast, and that's the T. And the T stands for tell everybody. Or as we say in the hood, tell everybody, right? Tell everybody the good news about iBoomerang. Tell them about our launch. Show them that 3-minute video. Tell them about the testimonials. Hey guys, why do we do the customer corner? So you can have stories, screenshot it and send it to people. Hey, a guy from Europe came to Houston, saved $75, right? I'm so sorry, 75 euros, right? It sounds even cooler when it's euros, right? So just
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. So just tell everybody. That's what the T is for. It's share, share, share. Closed mouths don't get fed. Don't be a secret agent. Let everybody know about iBoomerang. Make sure they hear it from you. And then also at the end of the month, we're kind of back to associate, team up. At the end of the month, especially, is a time when you could benefit from some group energy, some group momentum. So definitely get even more plugged in as we get to the end of the month. So folks, those are just some tips to help you go fast or go faster in your business. What do we got?
Get 1,000 on Facebook. Get up to 1,000 on Facebook, and HB is going to come on.
Get up to 1,000 on Facebook, and HB is going to come on?
Yeah, right here.
Share the live, guys. Share the live.
Share the live, share the love.
So where are we at right now? 848. Okay. His agent won't let him come on if we have fewer than 1,000 people on the Facebook. It's
the numbers.
It's his minimum. It's his minimal acceptable contract audience. So folks, you want to make sure that we get him on, because believe me, you want to hear from Holton Bugs. How are we looking, guys? Is it happening?
I think people are like getting off to share and then coming back.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, come on, guys, do what you got to do to get HB on here to share a couple of things with you before we wrap this up. So hopefully you guys got something really good out of that training. And let's see. Somebody said, what was it you said after closed mouths? Jeffrey, closed mouths don't get fed, right? And just think about it. Everybody wants to eat, right? Everybody wants to eat. They want to eat and enjoy success, but you can't do it if your mouth is closed. So you got to open your mouth. You got to tell everybody, right? Closed mouths do not get fed. So these are some things that you can do to get your business going faster. And I'll tell you what, these are some of the things that Holton taught me. These are some of the things that he taught Mark. Some of the things that he taught Edwin Haynes, some of the things that he taught Emmanuel Bernstein and Cesar Munoz and Amy Seaver and all these different diamonds. And guess what? Some of the things he taught Sam and Kim. And these are the reasons that their businesses are growing faster than everyone else's. Now, of course, we're not trying to imply that if you don't go fast, that you're less valuable. Remember, it's a race that you win by finishing, not by finishing first. But you don't want it to take any longer for you than it has to. That's right. Right. So, fast is relative. Your fast is not the same as someone else's fast, but you do want to be in a position where your business is progressively getting better, progressively making you more money, progressively bringing you more happiness and satisfaction as you continue to grow with iBoomerang. And that's what this training is all about.
I want to stress something too, and you had brought it up, and it was around getting the support and having the leadership. T. Gray said, hey, I had Holton to be able to mentor me, and you guys, and at this point in time, obviously, that's not going to happen because he's the CEO of the company and the chairman of iBoomerang. So that's not going to happen, and it's not happening. It's mostly the core corporate team that we get access to Holton, but he's not coaching others at this point in time. But what you do have access to is everybody that Holton has coached. Okay, and all of the leaders from the Blue Diamonds, from the Presidential Diamond, and our global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes, to the Blue Diamonds, to the Diamonds, and on down. There are leaders at every level in this organization. So I want to implore you, and I get questions all the time. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I do this? I tell them, and this is it, mark my words, go back to your leader. Go back to your leader. They have the answers. And some of you, maybe have a little bit of an ego and you're like, yeah, but they've sponsored. Mark my words, know all this information and so on. They do know this information. So put the ego aside and speak directly to the leaders in your organization. Okay. And the other piece that I wanted to touch on is this, Tommy Johnson, Tommy and Lindsay Johnson.
This is good.
They did exactly what they needed to do, and that was counsel with Mr. Edwin Haynes, okay, our global master ambassador. As soon as he counseled with Mr. Edwin Haynes, who understands exactly how to build a large organization, and who did he learn from? Mr. Holton Buggs. As soon as he did that, his business took off. He went to the next level and hit diamond with 4 days left in the month. Diamond with 4 days left in the month. So again, counsel upline, get your game plan, get your flight plan calendar, go back and watch the training that Mr. Haynes did last week about the flight plan calendar. He tells you exactly how to go diamond, or excuse me, sapphire in 30 days. You can do it in 1 month. You can do it in 1 month. And then from there, you can move on to the next levels and so on and get to diamond. So that was what I got. And man, I wanted to drive that point home because again, I get these questions, through Facebook Messenger and all these other ways. And they're like, what do I do? How do I do this? And my answer is get with the people who got, and man, I just get to the upline, get to your leaders. Because again, they are where they are. Because
hang on, you guys are almost there. You guys are almost. You guys are so close to getting Holton to come on. His agent is standing there. His agent standing there like this saying, hey, man, you need a couple more, not one shy of 1,000. So you guys got to go ahead and get 1,000 and we'll get HB on. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No. That was it. And again, tap into the leadership. The leadership is here, and it's at every level. Because today, one of these sapphires that you're working with today is going to be a diamond. And then after
$9.99.
You guys are almost.
We had them. Oh, they went to $9.99 and $9.98. 1,000.
Hey, you did it. You did it. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. You guys earned it. You guys earned the opportunity to hear from our most incredible CEO, Holton Buggs. So what we're going to do is we're going to make room for greatness and bring on our CEO visionary, Holton Buggs.
Rock, man. You guys absolutely rock the house. Rock the house. Guys, give it up for Mark Kithcart. Give it up for T. Gray, the dynamic tunicorns that we have here, the dynamic duo. So I'm going to take this off of share. Can I take this off and just have my whole full screen here?
Yep, you're on.
I'm not on full screen, am I? I'm looking at this one here. Oh, I should be looking at this one.
Hold on.
Okay, because I only have a short period of time here because I actually have a Zoom call that I have to do. Anyway, guys, I want to say what's up to everybody here in iBoomerang. I want to say congratulations to all of you. I was watching on Facebook Live and somebody says, if you guys don't tell me what I'm watching, I'm leaving. You don't tell me what I'm watching, I'm leaving. Well, you're watching History in the Making is what you're watching every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. History in the Making is what you're watching. You just got through watching, you just got through watching two gentlemen that are in part responsible for what's never taken place in this industry called network marketing. And if you don't know what you're watching, go back and look at it from the very beginning, or go just scroll through our Facebook, scroll through our social channels, and you'll see what's actually happening here. You got a lot of excited people, whereas we show people how to have a 5-star lifestyle, but for 3-star pricing, okay? And that's really what we've done. Now, one other person said, hey, listen, well, what about the loyal 850 people who've already been watching? Now, I want you to share something with you. Anytime I throw out a challenge, I want you to always know that it's a training and teachable moment. Here's what we've done, okay? I want you to learn from something. T. Gray just showed you how to go fast. What I did is showed you how to go faster. Why? Because what I realize is that very seldom do we give our best. Very seldom do we give our best. Very seldom do we go absolutely all out. Why? Because most of us, even like myself for a while, was conditioned to doing just what I had already been doing. And so I had watched the numbers. The numbers had dropped down to below 700, dropped down below 700. And all we did is we said, hey, listen, do your best. And now we've got over 1,100, which means that what if you came to this training and what if you did everything, okay, or did anything the way you do everything? Because that's what we do, okay? Everything that we do it the way we do anything. And so, my saying is how you do anything is how you do everything. And so what if you, every Saturday morning, you got on this training call and what you just got through doing the last 7 or 8 minutes, what if that was your attitude every day? Every time you did iBoomerang, every time you prospected, every time you did a presentation, every time you were sending out boomerangs, every time you were writing out your goals, every time you were putting your calendar together, what if you did it and you went all out every single time? What happens is you open up this aura of magic that takes place. And see, most people will look and say, wow, you're such a great network marketer. No, I'm not. I'm not a great network marketer. What it is that I don't have an opportunity to play here. I don't. And so if my tank is full of octane here, I'm going to make sure I use 100% of it whenever I start and finish a task. I'm not going to go back and say, man, you know what? I knew I wasn't going to win anyway, so I saved some in the tank. Hey, Tigray, I saved some for next week. There is no next week when you're going for your goals. There is no next week when you're going for your goals. And so that's really what that was all about. would I have gotten on? Of course, I'm not going to deny my people. I'm here. I do have a Zoom call coming up with some major people that I've got to talk to. And then I've got to catch a plane. I was actually going to drive down, but I'm actually catching a plane to some mysterious city where the best football team in the land resides. That will be in Dallas,
New
Texas.
York City.
And hey, listen, I've got a big boom party that I'm doing today, a good party that I'm doing today. And it's going to be a good boom party. We're going to break some pins with this good party. I think this is maybe my first or second good party for somebody personal that warranted me getting involved with them. Matter of fact, they were actually, I don't want to say sacrificing, they were investing a $60,000 to $70,000 a month income to join this incredible company called iBoomerang. And I sat and I had dinner with them, and with a couple of our diamonds, Amy and Steve Seaver, and I sat and had dinner with them, and I recognized the talent that they had. And the only thing was missing was environment and coaching. And I told them, I said, listen, I wasn't expecting them to leave or stop doing what they were doing or whatever it is. I just had a great time with them. And they saw something that they really admired. And they said, hey, we want to do it. They brought 20 people down here. Maybe, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, they brought 20 people down. And I told them, hey, listen, you know what? I not only will coach and give you some guidance, but I'll come and do a boom party for you. And so the boom party got too big, over 200 people's coming. So they moved it to a hotel. And so I'm doing a boom party. It's a private boom party. So I shouldn't have said Amy and Steve Seaver's name, because everybody's going to be calling them. Where's this boom party going? But anyway, I'm catching a plane, going down, doing the boom party. Actually, I've got 3 meetings, and I've got the Zoom party I've got going on. I've got another meeting for one of my heroes, Cosmos Mugembe. So I've got a 2 o'clock meeting. I'm meeting with some people, and then I'm not going to tell them what time it is. Another o'clock event. Boom party, and then while I'm down there, I'm just going to be booming, and then the Dallas Cowboys will lower the boom on Sam Bean's Green Bay Packers and on Ronell's Green Bay Packers. Anyway, I've got the microphone. I can say it. Sam, your birthday was yesterday. It's not today, and it will not be tomorrow. I just want you to know. Now, okay? But anyway, guys, back to it. But just think about it. What if you went all out? What if you said, I'm tired of playing, in the middle? Because you didn't do all that you could do. If you were at Vision, Cesar Munoz gave us a training. I think it was Cesar Munoz or one of them who told us, take your hand and go all the way back as far as you can go. And then he said, do it again. And the second time, everybody went much further than they went the first time. Why? Because we're conditioned to doing just enough. This is why the majority of us never live a life of abundance, because it's just that nth degree. It's that last degree that causes everything to happen. When we look at water, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can boil water, or you can heat it up to 210. You can heat it up to 211.5. And all you got is hot water. But it's that 212 is what causes water to boil. It's the same analogy I used on our social channel yesterday. What's missing? Some of you, it was your flight plan calendar. Some of you, it's that 1 degree. It's that 1 degree that you're just not willing to say, I'm going to call everybody that's on my list. If you've been in the business, T. Gray just showed you how to go fast. If you've been in iBoomerang and you believe this is the best thing since sliced bread, and by the way, I don't eat sliced bread anymore. I don't eat bread anymore. Okay? This is the best thing, okay? Guys, I'm digressing. These guys, I don't know why the Comedy Center comes out when you sit on this side of the camera over there. I don't know what happens, okay? It just happens. But they've been introducing me to this fake food, okay? Especially Kitsia. They got me on this vegan stuff, And I started to eat the container that the food came in, and it tastes exactly the same. You put sauce on the paper container, and it tastes like vegan food, all right? It's like with cardboard or vegan chicken, it tastes the same when you put sweet and sour sauce on it, all right? But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you've been around here, this is the best thing since flavored cardboard, okay? And you haven't, some of you, your neighbor is taking a vacation next week and they don't even know you're in the travel business. They don't even know you got the cure for their wallet. You're responsible right now because your neighbor across the street is about to go pay full price. They're about to pay full price and you're sitting there with the benefit for them. You've got your other neighbor who's over there. They just had a baby. And she's wondering, do I have to go back to work and take my baby and pass my baby on to the lowest bidder called daycare 6 weeks? And my little baby is going to know the daycare supervisor more than they know mommy. Why? Because mommy's got to go back to work. And you've got the cure. It's called a boomerang ambassadorship. And you haven't even sent them an I decide. Why? Because you're leaving something in the tank. What are you saving it for? Why? What are you saving it for? You join the business and you've got 50 boomerangs and a month later, you still got 25 boomerangs. Why? What are you saving it for? And so what I'm telling you guys, if you want to go fast, just go all out. You don't have to change. You don't have to change a lot. It's just that one thing that you're missing. We always say, what's the most important part of a car? It's that part that's missing. Look, we're at 2,000 views now. Why? Because somebody decided, let me do a little bit more and let me allow my water to boil. Let me boil some water instead of just having hot water. What's the most important part of a car? It's not the engine. It's not the tires, not the ignition, not the brakes, not the accelerator. It is the part that you are missing. It's the part that's missing. Because if you've got an engine, but you don't have wheels, that's what's important at this moment. And when I look at this vehicle that we call iBoomerang, it's your personal wealth vehicle. What's missing? What's the most important part of your personal wealth vehicle? What's missing? Is it effort? Is it commitment? Is it you're uncertain? You're still wondering whether it's going to work? You're still thinking, well, I'll do it, once I see this evidence. Maybe I've got to go through one full year to make sure it's going to be around. I'll address that. Peter Hirsch was so excited yesterday. I was in a car, talking, and just like T. Gray, just like Mark, they're always taking notes, and Peter Hirsch is always taking notes when I'm around. They kind of make me feel like what I have to say is important because I don't take myself all that serious. And they're pulling out these notepads, and I'm like, man, I'm just talking to, and they're like, yeah, hold on for a second. He's writing notes, right? And so I'm talking to this group, right? Let me share this one thing with you. I've got 13 minutes, so I've got this Zoom call with these major leaders, right? They always call themselves major leaders. And I've got a group that I was talking to, and their question was, well, why is this such different than any other startup? Let me just address that one for you. Peter Hirsch asked me, he says, could you one day do a training on it? Well, I'm going to kind of give it to you right now. All right. Mark said, yes. Okay. So let's look at it. First thing that I told them is I said, listen, what I want you to learn is that so many of us, we get so hung up on these network marketing colloquialisms. All right, that's the word of the day, colloquialism, okay? We have word of the day over here. Mark's probably already chosen it. But all of these this jargon, these sayings that we've heard in network marketing. Remember I told you at Vision, network marketing is broken? Because what we do is we say things, or what's been said is things have been said from stage or on a microphone with somebody who wears a lapel pin that they call a leader, and it's accepted as what's true. Because in network marketing, we don't teach people how to think. We only teach them what to do. And that's why we only focus on duplication, not education. Here in iBoomerang, it's different. We're teaching you why to think, not just what to say, not just have a scripted lifestyle. So we hear these sayings, well, only 3% of the people make it. 100% of those who make a decision make it. 100% of those who do what's required make it. It's not that everybody does what's required and only 3% make it. It's that the 97% in life, they coast. They coast. They put it on cruise control. They coast. They climb the mountain and then their shoulder hurts. And guess what they do? They park. They climb the mountain and then they get, maybe a aching calf muscle. And then they say it's too hard. It's no different than working iBoomerang and you give out one of your boomerangs and 2 people return them. Well, it doesn't work. They didn't activate it. Or, I gave out all 50 boomerangs or 100 boomerangs and I haven't received a travel savings bonus. You can't force people to travel. You build a pipeline. And so it's all of these excuses that take place. That makes up the 97%. Do you know that 90+% of the people who own a real estate license don't make enough from real estate to pay their own rent? Is it that real estate doesn't work? No, it's people choose to stay average. And average people don't have exceptional results. So what we're sharing with you is some small tips on getting yourself above average work environment or average attitudes. And once you start to just do a little bit more, those of you who are on this call, you've already proven you're 3 times better than what you were 20 minutes ago. We're 2,500 people on this call. Why? Because you made a decision. You made a decision and somebody did it first. Somebody responded first. Somebody put something in the chat. Come on, guys, you can do better. It's not because I'm on this call. What I'm saying to you is not new. You've heard me say this before. It's not that I'm going to make that much of an impact in your business or in your mindset that warrants it. No, guys, what T. Gray is teaching, just somebody said, I saw him on the chat, they said HB has duplicated himself. Absolutely. When I hear him speak, when I hear Mark talk, I hear myself either 2 days ago or 10 years ago, depending on when I share with them or when I taught them what it is that they're speaking about. That training T. Gray gave, guess what? I sent it to him last night. He was doing a training and I said, hey, T. Gray, why don't you do this as well? Great. I sent him a text and what he did is he embellished it, put a little bit of his own other stuff in there, but it's duplication. Who cares who gets credit for coming up with it? None of this content is original. I didn't invent it. I didn't come up with it. But let me get back to what I was saying. I've got now 9 minutes until my Zoom call. And then I've got a plane to catch and I still haven't packed at all. Okay. But so here's what I want to share with you. This myth about startups. Is it going to make it? Okay. And here's what I told them. First of all, cut out the words, cut out all of this stuff that you hear, because most of us don't know what we're talking about. We have no clue what we're talking about. All right. Startup. Do you even know why they go out of business? Most of you don't even know why they go out of business. You just repeat what you've heard, and it gets up in here. And this is what causes people not to have vision and not to have great results. Okay. Do me a favor. Tell Anna, make sure they call my people for my Zoom that's coming up in 7 minutes, because I think I'm going to go past 7 minutes, and let them know, watch the Zoom and then, watch this and then I'll get on their Zoom. Okay. And tell them I'll be on there shortly. Okay. Because I got a couple minutes. I got to share some with you guys. Do you know why they fall out of business? Do you know, have you thought about it, or have you just accepted That's what it is. Let me share something with you. Do you know that over 90% of network marketing companies that start up never put 100 people in them? See, the ones that you don't even hear about them. Why? Because anybody with a computer and a bad idea can start a network marketing company. They never get past 100 people. Number one reason is lack of experience. Number one reason. I've been doing it for 29 years. Mark has been with me 14 years. T. Gray's been with me 11, 12, 17 years, 14 years. Okay. Edwin Haynes been with me forever. Okay. David Manning's been in network marketing 30 years. Lack of experience. I don't think I have lack of experience. And it's not experience only. Successful experience. There's a difference between experience and successful experience. Okay? Successful experience. I had a guy who told me, hey, I've got 20 years of experience. I said, well, why are you only making $8,000 a month? What have you been doing? You could have actually become a supervisor or manager at McDonald's and you could make over 6 figures. You could have gotten there in 8 years. I'm not putting that down, but he was bragging. And don't brag to me because, you know, when I get heated, I'll come back. I say, you don't have 20 years of experience. You've got 1 year of experience that you've just repeated 20 different times. What did you do the other 19 years? All right. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. So they have lack of experience. We're not lacking experience over here. Number two, they don't have the money. They don't have the resources. And it's not the resources to start a business. It is more expensive to grow a network marketing company. It costs you more money to go into momentum than to grow slow. I don't think we're going to have that problem over here in terms of lack of money. Okay. That's never going to be iBoomerang's issue. Somebody said the other day, well, I didn't get my money from the pay app. I wonder did they run out of money? No, it would take a lot, okay, for that to happen. We're iBoomerang's not running out of money. I can tell you that right now, okay? They lack the resources. They start on a shoestring budget. We didn't start on a shoestring budget. We have zero debt. We don't borrow anything. All the companies we have, we bought them. Cash. We don't finance. When we say good, I set the example. Get out of debt, I set the example. I don't have a mortgage on any of the houses. I don't have a car note on any of my cars. All the things we own them. We lead by example. So we are cash rich in terms of a company. We're not going to have that issue. Third reason is they don't know how to make the connection between what it is that they want to sell and the customer who they want to sell it to. They can't make that connection. The majority of companies who come up in network marketing, they come up with a good idea. They come up with a good idea. Okay. Have you ever seen the show called Shark Tank? The show called Shark Tank should be evidence of the danger of a good idea. How does Shark Tank work? All of these brilliant people come up with great ideas and can't make it work. And so they go to the Shark Tank because those guys have the money, resources, the know-how, and contacts to make them work. But here's what happens in network marketing. Typically, the ego of the person who has a great idea, the inventor of the idea, thinks that they also can execute the idea. And 90+% of the time, they can't do it. It's like the chef who knows how to bake cakes really good, thinking that they can run a restaurant. I've got a great idea. I know how to bake cakes. Let me start a restaurant, and it fails. So they don't have the experience. They don't know how to make the connection from here to there. That connection is lost. Okay? That connection is lost. I believe we know how to make that connection. I believe we've taken something that the world wants and we found a way to get it to them. And we're the first people to ever get it to them at no cost. And we're the first company to, last month, guys, last month, here's what I want you to know. Last month on the 20th, we made history. It was the first time ever in the history of network marketing that a company paid commissions, multiple levels, all the way up line on people who experience a travel travel booking. It's illegal to do it just from what we call the IATAN travel or what we call the travel agent method of doing it. So what we did is we engineered savings. We will take the savings, by the way, which on our average are 10 to 15 times more than the travel agent commissions alone. The savings are 10 to 15 times higher. On my trip that I just took, that if I would have taken that trip at $9,000, okay, $9,000, the trip that I went on last week, and we know everybody don't take those trips, but it was my birthday, $9,000 trip for 7 days, 5-star incredible resort. Travel agent commission is going to be somewhere between 5 and 16%. Let's just say 5% because 16 is on some of those other things. 5% of 9,000 is what? $450. $450. But if you're a network marketer, you get 25% of the travel agent's commission. So 25% of the 450, about $100. There's no more money to pay anybody up line. However, with iBoomerang, if a customer had taken that trip, I saved 40, let's just say I saved 5,000 to make numbers even. That means the customer would have saved 2,500. We would have paid one person $1,250 for the same trip, for getting it for getting the trip $5,000 cheaper. We would have paid $1,250 to one person. We would have taken 70% of the other $1,250, and we would have paid that upline. Nobody in the history of the world has ever done it. I think we've done something that nobody's done. This is one of the, this debunks that fact right there. So last, when we did it, you know what, we had distributors over here and they were showing us in their back office. This is why I love people with vision. They were showing us in their back office that they had people who had a $2.15 commission. Okay, do me a favor. Give me my phone here real quick. I'm jumping onto my Zoom. They need to see what I'm doing and then I'll get on. They need to hear this so that way I don't have to talk about this part of why we're new. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I'm jumping on here. Give me 1 second. There we go.
We're at 4K.
Okay. All right. Hey guys, hey, just give me 1 second here. I'm finishing up the company worldwide Zoom. I just thought I'd put this on. And just give me a couple seconds, guys. I'm on a worldwide Zoom right now. Just give me a couple seconds. I'll let you guys listen in as I finish up this call. This is something that you guys are probably going to want to hear as well. So here's the other thing, guys. Here's the other thing, okay? So when you take a look at, let me mute my call out here real quick, turn my volume down so you guys don't get interrupted here. So here's the thing that I want you to understand. They don't know how to make that connection. So what we just did, we're the first company in the history of the world who's ever paid commissions like that. Right now, when you look at our supplier, there's no company in the travel industry who's booking travel like iBoomerang. And I'm talking about the largest, the oldest travel network marketing companies out there. Right now, we're number one and we're 6 months old from pre-launch, 1 month old from launching. 1 month old from launching. So do we know how to make that connection? Yes. So remember, we're debunking the startup myth. Number one, they don't have the experience. I just gave you hundreds of years of experience that we have here in iBoomerang. So stop listening to everything that you hear about, well, it's a startup, will it work? Number two, they don't have the capital. That's never going to be our issue. We got a lot over here. Okay. Number three, they don't know how to make the connection with what it is that they want to sell to the customer that they want to sell it to. I think we've done it. We've got now, how many customers do we have now? 194,000 customers in 6 months. I think we're connecting pretty good. We've made history. First company in network marketing to accumulate this number of customers in this short period of time. It's never been done, never happened, but that's why we're just different. Okay. Now, number four, here's the big one. It's not the money. It's not the experience. It's not the connection between the customer. Here's the biggest reason why companies go out of business and startups is because the owners of those companies typically don't know how to bridge the gap between relationships of the field, between the field and corporate. They don't know how to do it. And the majority of the companies, here's what you've got, ladies and gentlemen. You've got distributors sitting there starving and saying they don't understand how it is to be out here in this field. Why? Because they're sitting in their office and they haven't done a presentation in 20 years or have never done one before. And they're sitting in their office and they haven't had a no. They're not at the meetings. They're not out there in the field. They're not leading on the front lines. That's one of the biggest reasons that companies who are startups fail. Now, we've already debunked the 4 myths of what startups are, because you didn't even know what a startup was and you didn't know why they go out of business. So now that we've debunked those, let me give you something else here. I want to share this with you, okay? Here's what I want to share with you. We have a 18-year-old travel company that did $130 million last year. 18 years old, $130 million last year. My director of travel, 36 years in the travel industry. Who's who when it comes to travel connected with network marketing. Speaks on behalf of Congress, at Congress on behalf of CLIA. That's who's in iBoomerang, okay? I've got 29 years of experience myself, all right? I've worked the last 11 years on the corporate end. Why did I take a corporate position in my last company? Because the company didn't know how to bridge the gap between corporate and the field. I volunteered and says, you guys are about to mess this up. I'll become that person. They started off at VP of sales and went all the way up to chief visionary officer. And I did it with one stipulation. I said, I'll do this as long as I can keep my commissions and as a distributor, because there's no money in wealth and just from a from a salary standpoint, when you're working at a network marketing company. My wealth didn't come from that. My wealth came as a distributor. So we've done that, okay? The other part that I'll tell you is this here. So when you look at from a travel standpoint, the experience standpoint, the finances that we have right now, being completely debt free. So my question for you, and here's your question for anybody else who asks a dumb, stupid question like that. What part of iBoomerang is a startup outside of the name that was just registered in February? See, if Jeff Bezos started a brand new concept and he says, hey, I'm launching a brand new company, would you consider it a startup and give him the same 95% chance of failure? Probably not. Well, I'm the Jeff Bezos of network marketing, and I deserve the same level of respect in my industry that he deserves in his. If Mark Zuckerberg was starting another social site, would you think it's probably going to have a great chance of succeeding? Or would you use the same dumb sayings that you've been taught? Oh, it's a startup, it's probably going to fail. It's Mark Zuckerberg. He's only worth 40+ billion, but it's going to fail. Why? Because that's what the numbers say. So before you start going off with what I call the network marketing colloquialisms, all of the sayings that you've been taught that you don't even know the meaning to, stop and think. Stop and think. That's why iBoomerang is just different. We're not teaching you just to duplicate. We're here to educate. We're not going to tell you just what to do. We tell you why. All right? We tell you why. Everything that we do here, we share it with you. We operate from the IT factor, integrity and transparency. And so I want all of you to know this is how we make this happen. This is what we do. We've watched this industry for 29 years. And this is not bragging. This is from a factual standpoint. I have not been able to tap another person on the shoulder that I know of on this earth who has the level of experience with success, not only personal, but team success that I have. And I've watched what has happened wrong. And I said, this shouldn't be done this way. We should do things differently. We should do it differently. So all of the myths of, well, it's a startup, so what? So what? The company who built your house, they were a startup at one time, but you still bought it. The company who actually designed your car at one point in time was a startup. The company who's manufacturing the clothes that you're wearing on your back at some point in time was a startup. That's what makes America so great, is that everybody has a chance to start up. You don't have to start with years of experience. Some countries you can't go into business unless somebody in your family or somebody has given you, unless it was willed to you. Right? And so get all of those things out of your head. And last thing I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw what you've done already in just 30 minutes, you saw the power of going the extra mile and taking that thing from 211 degrees and that 1 degree. What does it do? 4,000 connections on this Zoom right now. I mean, on just the Facebook Live. Because I told you, if you get 1,000 people on, HB will come on to the end of the training. Do you see what you're made of? So what does that mean? October is Sapphire Month. It's October Fast. T. Gray just gave you the fast, not October Fest, October Fast. Last month, over 300 plus sapphires were qualified last month. How many of you don't want to, just raise your hands if you don't want to go to Costa Rica with us. Raise your hands if you don't want to go to Morocco. We're saying $15,000 in volume for the month. You get to go to Costa Rica with us? You get to go to Morocco with us? Do you know of a company who does trips like that for $15,000 in volume? $15,000 in volume, okay? Unlimited number of people who's gonna come. It doesn't matter, it can be 2,000 of you. We're gonna pay for it, we got it. Get it done this month. I've got a Zoom call, as I told you guys. I've got to pack, I gotta get to the airport. I've got all these things going on, but I wanted to come on and share some love with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you guys. I'll see you. And here's my gallery over here. I don't need a round of applause. My gallery over here is giving me this round of applause. But listen, guys, you guys rock. I want you to look at what you did. I didn't do it. You did it. Turn on the afterburners. Let's go out here and get this thing done. I'm going to see you guys in Costa Rica or Morocco. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm out of here, bro. I got to do this call. Talk to you guys later.
Boom. Wow. Drops mic, leaves set, leaves it smoking hot up in here. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, that was our CEO, fearless leader, visionary, Holton Bugs. And I want to say hats off and congratulations to you guys. You guys showed up and showed out.
We've got more though.
We do?
Yeah.
What do we got? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Hold on, before we share. So you guys showed up and showed out and took the call literally from about 700 or 800 people on Facebook to over 4,000. So first of all, huge congratulations to you guys. Way to step it up, way to invite big. And now here's what I want to say. Why didn't we start there? You just showed yourself what you're capable of. And that's what we need to do every single week. We need to start with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people on the training and then you never know who's going to show up. And if we get to 10,000, then fantastic. But everyone who you got on the training, they needed to hear the first part too. So let's make sure that we don't settle for less than what we're capable of each week.
Yeah, I want to put an exclamation point on that. So you never know who's going to show up. You never know. So always be sure that you're on the call. The second thing I really want to make a really distinct point about is, and I've said it multiple times, and you've heard it. We are a 29-year-old startup.
Yep.
So I've worked in the startup world in Silicon Valley. And when I got here, knowing what I know and working with startups, working with 20-year-olds, in CEOs that were in their 20s, working with CEOs, at other ages as well, this is not a startup. It's absolutely 100% not a startup for all the reasons that you heard today. And that's why I always call it a 29-year-old startup. We all we met years and years ago, decades ago, and we all went our separate ways. And then we've all come back around because we know that iBoomerang is special.
That's right.
We know that it's special, and we know that we all had to go out and get different experiences to even come back together the way we have. So I don't believe in coincidences.
That's
I really
right.
believe that this was all a plan, a master plan, and meant to be. So, and the last thing I want to say about that, so there may be startups out there that might have experience and leaders with experience. But one thing I will say they don't have the vision that Mr. Bugs has, and that this team gets to execute on.
That's right.
I believe this to my core. There are very few opportunities to meet someone like Mr. Holton Bugs in your life. You may get one opportunity to do that. I've worked with multiple founders, multiple visionaries in the industry and different industries as well. And I've never met one quite like Holton. And I don't think I ever will again. So we truly are fortunate. And again, I would put Holton up against any CEO in any industry, anywhere in the world. That's how good he is. He could take, he didn't even have to do iBoomerang. He could have done many other things, but he said, and I remember it when I came out here and flew out that first time and met with him. He said, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm in a good place, but I really want to do something that's going to help the people who could not win in network marketing. I really want to do something that will help people win.
And that's a key thing. It's born out of passion, not born out of need. Right. He didn't do this because he needed something. You make totally different decisions when you need to make money. You make totally different decisions when that's not an issue, and you're just about the principles and you're about the vision. Yeah, exactly.
So, and the last thing I want to say, and again, it all comes back. I said it earlier. It's about the philosophy of iBoomerang. You throw a boomerang out, it comes back. Again, Mr. and Mrs. Bugs, they have philosophically always subscribed to the fact of giving out goodwill and not expecting anything in return. And it's something that they've carried on, and it's one of the reasons that iBoomerang was named what it was, and it's why we are doing what we're doing here today. So, all right, we're getting back to that. All right, cool. So,
all right, let's wrap the training up.
Yeah, let's wrap the training up.
We're definitely over.
And I like the Oktoberfest. I love that.
Oktoberfest.
All right, let's see here. So the commemorative album. Oh gosh, I've seen this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's lovely. Is it going to print?
It's going to Erlene.
It's going to Erlene. Erlene's going to do her final on it. It's $39.95. It is absolutely beautiful. So you can go to boomgear.com and you can order that. Dream Weekend. Okay, man. After all of this,
I know they have the promo.
After all of this, and if you don't have your ticket to Dream Weekend, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
There are 4,000 people listening right now of 3,900. Well, it's 4,000 with everybody included. Go now, go get your ticket, go to iboomhub.com, go to events, do the drop down, get to Dream Weekend, and go ahead and get your ticket. There should be 4,000 tickets sold.
Exactly.
Right?
So real quick, let's make sure everybody understands. Saturday is the leadership training.
Yep.
Qualified Sapphires and above. You have to qualify at least one time. Even if you qualified Sapphire before, you have to qualify at least one time in September, October, or November. Now, for those of you who are just getting started, if you believe that you're going to get Sapphire done, and if you're focused and you finalized your goals, you have October and November to get it done. Go ahead and buy your ticket, and that'll be one thing that'll create a little bit of pressure for you. All right, number 2.
General
Sunday.
session.
That's for
Yep.
everybody. That's for the whole company. All right. So you want to make sure that you have a ticket to that too. Leaders who are going to the Saturday training, you need a ticket to Sunday also. So you're going to need to buy a 99 and a 79. Those of you who are not Sapphires and above, not going to be there on Saturday. You just need to buy the Sunday ticket. Okay.
Cool. And typically that is $129. So I think last week when I was talking about the $129 price, that's $79 now. That price will go up. Somebody said $129. Are you kidding me? And I think it was Tommy Johnson, our new diamond, Tommy Johnson. He said $129 is a bargain for what it is that you're going to receive at that training. So
That's right.
And it is. And oh gosh, who else was it? Somebody else was talking to me the other day. Oh, it was you, Kitsia. You were saying they're doing an event and they're charging $1,000, and I think even other tickets were $1,500. And this is in a different industry, and there's no way that they are going to be training on the things that we're training
That's
on.
right.
For people to become financially independent and free. Disclaimer, sorry. So definitely go ahead and get in there, get the early bird price. And finally,
The cruise, the dinner cruise.
Yeah.
So we've rented out a 221-foot, $40 million yacht that has never, ever been used by a company in our industry. And this thing is absolutely amazing. So you absolutely want to come and party with us and have your dream expanded with us. Now, there's only room for 600. There are a few tickets left. You definitely want to grab
I
it.
think we are over 50% sold out. I think we're probably
No,
bordering on 70%.
Yeah,
we are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You got the numbers.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. It's selling out. So now, one last thing. And for this reason alone, you're going to want to get to Miami. We talked about the launch of Vibe Rides.
This is what we've been working on at corporate all week long.
Yeah.
So if we've been slow to get back to you, Mark and I have been taking a long time to get back to you because we've been in planning sessions, strategy sessions about how we are going to launch Vibe Rides at this particular weekend, at this particular event. And guys, ladies, prepare to have your minds blown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tanya Mazel just said she paid $5,000 for a training that she went to. I'm not going to say the person's name because we don't want to do that. But she paid $5,000 for a training, and she said it does not even compare to what we offer her. So Vibe Rides is going to be launched that week.
Yep.
In Miami. So if for no other reason you want to get down to Miami, because we're going to be doing some things that network marketing companies and actually lots of companies in the world have never done before.
Never
the
done.
way we're going to launch this.
Yes.
And I'm excited because it's going to be something that is going to be unforgettable.
Listen,
So,
guys, if you have any experience with us at all, you know that we don't hype and we don't overpromise.
Yeah.
Right? We told you Vegas was going to be mind-blowing, and it was mind-blowing. Folks, we're going to do it big in Miami this particular weekend.
Yeah.
You
All
want
week long.
you want to be there.
All week long.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I think, is that it?
I think we have one more. Boom.
Of course. Accelerate. Spring 2020. I mean, how many? I think we've sold literally thousands and thousands of tickets to Accelerate already as well. Right now, what's the price right now for Accelerate? Is it 179?
179.
Okay, so we've got the special for the new people. Okay, so they can get their ticket at $50. Do not let them not do that. Just go ahead and let them know when you do sign up, you're going to see this pop up, get your ticket. But then secondarily, get your ticket This is a $299 full price ticket. Okay. You saw what happened at Vision. And if you haven't seen what happened at Vision, go back and watch the video of Vision. It was incredible. I've personally never attended an event like that in my life, much less been able to speak at an event like that. So bottom line is this, get your ticket now. That ticket will also increase in price. And we were talking also about Accelerate and where we're going to have it, and where we're going to hold it, and some of the details about Accelerate. And man, I was getting fired up and excited about that as well. So, and again, here's how you want to do this. Go ahead and get people to the next event, which is Dream Weekend, and then get them to the next big event, which is Accelerate.
That's right.
So go ahead and focus on those two only. So as leaders, here's what you want to do with your team. Go ahead and say, hey, look, get to Dream Weekend, all right? And then get your Accelerate ticket as well. So go ahead and get your teams focused on that. And
All
with
right,
that,
folks,
ladies and gentlemen.
that's a wrap. You guys did so well.
Yes.
You did amazing.
Yes.
Remember, the challenge for next Saturday Flight School, let's start out with these type of numbers because we know what we're capable of now, and we know the quality of Flight School. So God bless you.
You never know
guys.
who's going to show up.
And you never know who's going to show up. So way to go, you guys. We showed you how to go fast. Holton showed you why this is the most unstartup-ish startup ever. And now you have all the ammunition that you need to succeed and in October fast.
October fast.
October fast. All right.
Love it.
God bless you guys. We'll see you at the top and on the beaches
We
of
love
the
you.
world. Boom.